Hey, welcome to Too Long Didn't Care. I'm your host, Coy Mack, and today we're going to talk about the Hunter Biden story and how much of a fuck up he is. Hey, so welcome back, guys. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, so I wanted to just get right back into the action and talk about the things that you're missing. And today we're talking about Hunter Biden being a fuck up and leaving 3 laptops with possibly incriminating information, along with multiple pictures of him doing crack. Or something of that matter, probably meth. I don't know. You've seen his paraphernalia in the picture, which they claim is like, oh, it's just like a glass rose or something, and is trying to defend his habits. We know he's an addict. We know he's a fuck up. I mean, he was dating his brother's widow and knocked up probably a stripper. I don't know what it was. It was another lady in Arkansas or something like that. And I used to live in Arkansas. I grew up in Arkansas, so I know how that place is, so probably true. Anyway, so speaking of which, the whole thing comes down to the fact that Hunter Biden had emails on his computers that were left over for 3 months at the computer repair shop, was then taken by the shop owner into legal possession because he left them. They were abandoned property, according to his contracts. He found the information, got the hard drives from that, copied them, gave them to the FBI, and heard nothing back from them. Then he gave it to Rudy Giuliani in order for him to do something with it. Now, why give it to Giuliani, I have no idea, but why was the FBI sitting on this over a year ago, especially when this was in the midst of the Ukraine impeachment, if you all remember that? This was information that could have been vital to the impeachment of the president of the United States, and the FBI was just sitting on it. Now, what is the information exactly? Well, according to the email threads, it appears that showed Hunter Biden pursuing a lucrative energy business deal in China and possibly cutting his father in and on the action, in a reference to 10% proposed business equity, perhaps going to the big guy, as he is referenced there. As you know, I don't know who would trust Hunter Biden with doing some multinational deals of any sort. I mean, the guy is not right, like, at all. Like, he's there. I don't care if he went to Yale and if he's a lawyer. He has not had a very good track record of doing anything, right? If this was like Hillary Clinton's like son or whatever, this dude would have like died from suicide like a while back, because that's how much of a fuck up he is. Anyway, point being is that everybody is losing their minds over the story to the point that Facebook and Twitter had, should say it past tense, last week, had censored the New York Post article to the point that you cannot post it in a private message. You cannot post it on your personal page. You could not post it anywhere. Not one bit. And that's just how bad tech giants are getting, is that they're being able to take one of the 4th largest newspapers in the country and censor them for a story that probably is true. The way we're looking at it, it definitely is true, the way that they're treating this. Because as soon as it came out, they were like, banhammer, we must protect Joe Biden. We cannot let this story out. And so here we are. Now, this isn't the first time that we've had a story like this. Politico ran a story back in 2019 called Biden Inc., even to the point that they had a rundown of him and his brother from the 70s all the way until now, running different sorts of business deals through politics. Now, the ones in particular that we need to pay attention to are the ones from 2013, 2014, right, and 2015. When Hunter Biden was on the board of Burisma, and when he flew on Air Force Two to China, which is where the private equity deal comes from, right? So this private equity deal is shady as hell because he took Air Force Two with his father to do this deal, and presumably on behalf of him. That is corrupt as hell. If Donald Trump did that with any of his children, flew to China, made a deal for private equity, and came back, he would be lit up in the media. But instead, they're protecting him. They're protecting Joe Biden, even though they've wrote about this previously. And now, the big thing about this is that Politico even wrote another story saying the Hunter Biden story is Russian disinformation. And this is the key point that you need to look out for, is the fact that they say 50 former intelligence officials say that it is classic Russian disinformation, right? 50 former, not current, 50 former. They have no firsthand knowledge of the information that is being put out there, right? Even to the point that the current DNI, right, DNI Radcliffe has said Hunter Biden's laptop is not part of some Russian disinformation campaign, right? This is this is coming from the intelligence community itself. The DNI is saying that it is not Russian disinformation. So whoever is saying that, including Adam Schiff, who is saying that it is Russian intelligence, that's their thing. They're doing that. Then Russians are fucking with everything. Yeah, it's not the Russians. The likely story, because like you have to take that to the logical conclusion, right? So some Russian agent got a laptop, hacked some emails, threw it in a hard drive, splashed some water on it, threw it to a guy in Delaware to fix, forgot about it, luckily, had somebody sit on it for a whole year, and then come out right as in an October surprise for the election. Yeah, that's fucking brilliant. I'm sure the Russians totally did that, because that doesn't make any sense. The likelihood of Hunter Biden being a fuck up and just left his shit there when he shouldn't have, that's how most crime families get in trouble, right? It's that one little blinky light you get pulled over for, and now you're arrested. Or Al Capone with his taxes. It's the same thing. But we need to be paying attention to this story for multiple reasons, because it involves both China and Ukraine, two things that have led to Donald Trump being in trouble with the media, right? And so these things are important to keep track of. China is not our friend, and even if it's true, the fact that Hunter Biden was taking equity from a Chinese firm when we are in the midst of a trade war, we have been in the midst of a trade war with China, and the fact that we're trying not to be soft on China after the coronavirus of all things, because everybody seems to keep forgetting it's their fault. We do not need somebody in the White House who is working with China like this, taking money from China, just like everything else. Anyway, that's the things that you need to be focusing on. This is the truth of the matter. This is what's happening. Keep following the story. Keep your ears out. Anyway, I'll see you next time.
According to your Facebook page, we aren't friends.